All right, Greg. All right, Greg. Let's turn this on. Let's just verify it because I like to double check and triple check. If you want to start cutting them, and then I'll just, you know, I'll yell them to you, and you can either write them down or I'll write them down.
Write them down on the bracket, and then I can yell at you, and then cut it, bring it in. Next one, bring it in. Cut it, bring it in.
There you go. Two and 7/8, 11 and 7/8 minus, so that'd be a 3 and an 8 exact. We'll go 2/8 or 11 and a quarter. Oh geez, that was 36 foot. Must have got off. 2 and 7/8, so the same thing. 11 and a quarter. 3 at 1/8. All right, so what I'm doing here, it's pretty cool because I've got the 180, the LA180 set up. That thing is awesome for so many different applications, but what we're doing here is we once again have it running parallel perfectly to this wall by, you know, laying it out, using the receiver to make sure it's the exact same distance off of the bottom on both ends, which means it's gonna be perfectly in line where we want this beam to be. So if I have that tone right there as it's butted up against my beam, I know it's perfect. Well, since I have this tone and a laser distance measurer, I can go ahead, I can line it up right where I want it, take my laser distance measurer, bump it up to the back of it, because this might have a little bit of in and out or a curve to it or something, and I can get an exact laser measurement to the other side, so I don't have to pull a tape measure out. I don't have to put a string line up because those can bump. You can push and pull them a little bit, and it's giving us an exact dimension to cut our I-joist so they sit in against this beam nice and tight on this side, nice and tight on the other side, and it is creating a nice crisp straight line here. So it's another great use of the 180 for sure. All right, Greg, that'll be 11 inches, 1711. I don't know if I'm tall enough to do what I wanted to do there, but I'll just have to do this. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So if you notice, and it might be hard to see yet, this is a 1 foot on center spacing for these joists, and these turn into a 16-inch on center, and that's because this is a big span, and you know, according to the tables and the engineering, I could have went either way. I could have done 16 on center, and I think that was the original plan, but once I started thinking about it, this is a big flat area. We're going with 1.125" Legacy Premium Subfloor, which is heavy. I just figured let's go 1 foot. I know you're probably looking at this saying, why is there only a single top plate on that wall? There should be 2 plates. We'll share with you what's going on there later. There's more framing to be done, so I'm not worried about that, especially because it's engineered LSLs. It's rigid anyway, but I know typically you want to do a double top plate, so we'll address that in the future. Oh, I think I was saying, Greg, that the reason, or the 16 on centers here is because we're gonna have a wall through the middle. So we don't need, we're gonna cut this span in half to 8 foot, which these are more than capable. The I-joists over here above the kitchen area, they die into that LVL header and they're resting inside a hanger, but that's a pretty costly way to build. It's a lot cheaper to build a traditional stick frame wall and then set your joist right on that top plate. Now, I opted for just a single top plate. Also, you'll notice that all of these joists are resting directly over top of a stud. So the bearing is good, I'm not worried about it. Greg is cutting up the last I-joists that go right there in that middle section, and then we're gonna be ready to run floor through this entire section. I'm excited, but not quite yet. We got a little bit of work to do. So what I'm doing right now is now that I have the rim board attached to those I-joists, I'm just taking my square, making sure that I'm flush on the outside, and then I can nail those to that top plate. Now, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be straight yet. That's when I'll take my laser receiver and check it. And the way we straighten it out is by pushing and pulling it back to that wall where we can fasten it to something solid. Looks pretty straight, man. Looks pretty flat. Pretty flat, my guy. Like a glove. Okay, good. Didn't pull anything apart. Okay. All right, that's now all fastened, so it's ready to be straightened. We'll get it straightened. We'll go get lunch. Come back, straighten this out, and start sheathing. Now that we've got all those I-joists up, or I should say all the I-joists I have, I actually made a miscalculation originally, and I planned on doing this 16 inches on center. Well, when it came time to order the materials, I didn't recheck, but by that time I had rethought about this design, the fact that those I-joists could either go 12 inch or 16. I went with the 12 inches just knowing that it was going to be a little bit stronger, but I didn't update the quantity, so I've got new I-joists on order. They should be here the next day or so, but we've got enough to do this whole front section, and then that back half, we'll start staggering it until we get those other I-joists. It really is about close to the end of the day, so we're gonna get that first row. We just snapped a line, so we know exactly where to start. We went through and we checked the entire face of that front of the mezzanine with the laser to make sure it was as straight as possible. So we're ready to start laying some 1 1/8" legacy subfloor. And if you've never used 1 1/8" subfloor, once you use it, stand on it, work with it, it's really hard to go back to 3/4. 3/4 just doesn't seem like it's strong enough. So that's why we went with 1 1/8" on this project. Hey, what's up guys? Today we're gonna start doing this Legacy. We put a couple pieces up last night. This is 1 1/8", it's heavy. It's gonna be a lot of work because we've gotta manhandle all these sheets up there. So that's why I choose a Mountain Dew Kickstart. Gets me going in the morning, and I wanna thank Mountain Dew for sponsoring today's episode. I'm joking, it's not sponsored, but it could be. Legacy, they did, however, LP Legacy, they did help me with this project. Nothing's free, it's not like I got all this for free, but they did help me out so that we could install this premium subfloor here on the project, which I'm super excited about. Get on that bottom and shove it up. Ready? Yep. You're fine, I got it, dude. I got plenty of control. Yep, yep. Now, that corner, and go that way. See, now that we have 2 rows, man, this is easy. It sure beats using tubes of PL though.
Oh, sure.
Let's set this next one in while you do that. Oh shoot! I'm really sorry.
Weight plus momentum, snap leg.
You're lucky I did not though. Like I didn't just go wham, you know?
Yeah, like the wrap, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, here we go. How can this thing still be putting out glue, man? We're on our 3rd row. I would have been through a whole box of tubes. It's about gone, man. This might be my last one. I think I'm headed to a new tube here. Pretty darn close. If I get this one done, great. But I gotta clean this tip out.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Shoot. We're gonna have to get past that guy.
We'll be able to do that. Yep.
No, okay, you gotta go in though. So I can get out. There we go.
Right.
There, and then it should go in. Need a little bit of persuasion. Nice. That's what I wanted, man. All right, I'm gonna.
Perfect.
I know, dude. That's what I wanted. I wanted the threshold to be perfect. We nailed it. Nice.
You did all right.
Nice.
Just goes to prove.
Math doesn't lie?
Math doesn't.
Okay. Oh no.
What?
Just a little bit of caulk or glue right there. Using this foam. This is just a great stuff foam, and it's for construction adhesive subfloors. I'm on the same tube or can that I started with. So we're on sheet number 16. 1 foot on center floor joists over there. These are 16, and I'm laying pretty thick beads. I just want to know, Greg, when it's going to stop.
Bro, that was awesome. When you said like just laying thick beads.
Yeah.
Like you could just go right like, hi, I'm Kyle. I lay thick beads.
Hi, my name's Kyle, and I lay thick beads. Oh, there we go. 16 sheets, man, and I'm still going. So I think these cans cost 14 bucks. PL 400 or something?
Yeah.
Probably about $4 or $5. And in a box of 12, you're gonna spend 60 bucks. So think about that, Greg. And this is good in any conditions. Application temperature down to freezing. It's tack-free in 14 minutes and fully cured in 2 to 4 hours. And a full bond in 7 days. Neat. Always make sure to do an 1/8" gap on your edges. I just use a nice nail. All right, we got the first 4 rows of this subfloor down. This is where we got to stop for the most part because we are still missing I-joists that are on order. It says they're sitting in a truck waiting to be delivered. So hopefully any day now, but we can do just a couple more staggered rows out the side. The big thing is, so I've never used this. This is great stuff. This is not sponsored. Like I went and bought this at Menards. I think I give around 15 bucks, 14 bucks or something for a can of this. And what's amazing is I've always used like a caulk tube of like PL 400 subfloor adhesive. And you go through, I mean, I would have been through a whole box of it by now and probably would have cost me $60. I used 1 can for all 20 sheets. And I was, at first I was being, you know, I mean, just generous, but not like over generous. And then it got to the point where I was like, dude, I bought like 4 of these cans. I might as well use it because you don't want them to go bad. And I just started laying like fat beads and I still did all 20. And I just took the can off with some still in it, but I figured I could tell it was getting low. I don't know what to say other than the fact that I will never, ever buy caulk tube adhesive again. Unless my customer calls me and says like in a year he's got tons of pops and squeaks. I guess then I would probably go back to something different, but it's pretty killer. I actually bought a can of this for my own house when I did my bathroom, and I used it to sister all my joists together, but it was probably bad because it wouldn't even come out. And it was like,
this was probably expired, yeah.
Probably expired. So that's a good thing to note. These cans they go bad. So this is good till May of 2021. You want to check that. Oh yeah, buddy.
That's on board.
That is. Look at that, and no drippage. Come on. I had a guy ask me, yeah, but like, why would you spend that kind of money on a floor? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're only doing this one time. Why would you not, like this floor right here, to go to this, I bet you this is $750 more. If I build a house for myself, there's no way I would do anything else. How's the wall framing going? I'll trade you. You wanna do these walls?
Good.
You sure?
I'll stick to what I know.
Oh, Greg, that's not the spirit. You should stick to what you don't know.
Just let you know, it'll take all the rest of the to get 1 wall, maybe.
But the next one you do, you'll get it done in less time. See? That's what it's all about. You know what? I don't need sound. Green light is good enough for me. 2 3/4, 2 5/8. Good job, man.
heavy on that?
No, man, we ain't heavy, but good.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, I'm good now. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Gun.
You see a black line?
Yep, right on it.
Okay, now I'll go that way.
I'm maxed out here, dude.
My way, just a hair. Right there. And you're doing really good stuff, Greg.
Bro, I'm like max. Yep, my hands are on fire. I'm losing it, dude.
It ain't going nowhere. Nice job, man.
That was tough.
Nice work, man.
I hate being short.
Okay, cool. Now you can get back to work, bro.
Now I can get back to doing what I was doing.
Now get back to doing what you was doing best. Jeez. All right. And one thing I'm doing is making sure that my crowns on my boards are all going the same way. That way, if any cabinetry or anything is in these rooms, which I don't think it is, but it's just good practice to always make sure that they're going the same direction so that you don't have ins and outs on your wall, or you keep it to a minimum. That's another reason to use engineered studs, man. They're perfect. Well, installing subfloor is pretty much a monotonous task. I mean, once you get started with a nice straight line and you're running square and everything is, you know, where you want it to be, a good subfloor is going to go in pretty easily. This Legacy Premium Subfloor from LP is no exception, man. It went down easy. It went in the tongue and grooves easy. Being so rigid, it was easy to handle. And just overall, this is the most sturdy, durable floor that I've ever installed. I mean, it's like you're walking on cement up here. It's perfectly flat. Every piece is just the same thickness. So big thumbs up to LP for this Legacy product. It's the first time I've used it on my job site. I was introduced to this product down in Texas at Jordan Smith's LP home project that I was part of and went down to Texas to help build. So that's where I saw this, and my first, impression was, oh my gosh, this is an amazing subfloor. I would love to use it on one of our projects, and it is awesome to be able to have the opportunity to use it. So big shout out to LP in working with me to be able to do that. And by all means, if you're doing a project and you want a solid floor, maybe you're gonna be doing tile, maybe you want more sound deadening properties, maybe you've got a bunch of little kids that are gonna be running around and you want to not hear that as much. A good subfloor, a good joist system, we use the I-joists here, are gonna definitely help that. And a good adhesive, we use that great stuff, spray foam adhesive. I'd never used it. I went and bought it at Menards, like 15 bucks a can, and I think 2.5 cans did this whole floor, okay, that's 40 by 36, I think, about 40 by 36. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 40 by like 37 foot. So we had, I think, a total of 50 sheets. The last set was obviously ripped down, but 3 cans total. So $45 in adhesive, and it worked really well. No doubt in my mind it's going to perform well based on what I've read, what I've seen, and 24 hours later, walking on this floor after we started, it's amazing how solid it is. So, those are all products that I can vouch for, I think are awesome, and I hope to use them in some future projects. But we're gonna go ahead and clean up. I'm gonna walk around here just to get a feel for what we've got next coming up. We've got the chimney build. We've got the exterior walls on the inside to start detailing for our pine, finished wall. So man, there's gonna be a ton of work to do in here yet. I've got a little bit of wall framing down below for some bathrooms to finish up. Shouldn't take me too long. The biggest thing is we're now getting busy here. There's people here, there's electricians, there's plumbers, we got customers showing up, and that takes a lot out of the day. You gotta collaborate, you wanna make sure that everybody's on the same page, that we're not fighting each other. So you can see we've got some pipes going in, we've got electrical boxes going in, some of those things that people asked a lot about with spray foam, like what do you do when you gotta remodel, or you gotta run new wiring, or you're plumbing? That's the beauty of post frame. Look at this. We're completely spray foamed. The whole house is insulated, and they're just now starting to run plumbing and electrical because that can all be done after the fact. So it's pretty cool, and yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back on Monday and keep going.